Reddit. We've got some Reddit stuff. Today I was looking at our justice for Johnny Depp, why not indeed? And we achieved justice, I think, which is very, very good indeed. But I saw this little post and I was like, what is all this? Amber was in a woman's book. Of course she was. Oh, of course she was. In 2017. You can guess where I found this book. What, in the toilet? In the bargain basement? In what, the discount file? Where did you find this book? Let's have a little look. There she is over there. Look, there she is. So, what is this book? 200 women, 200 random women. Oh no, 200 women who will change the way you see the world. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. So let's have a little look. There's the old Cockney chanter, the old sea witch. There she is herself. And we can look inside if we want to do such a thing. You want to buy it for £18.84 if you're quite frankly insane. You can do that. What have we got published in 2017? Produced by Blackwell and Ruth Limited. Blackwell's this guy Jeff. Produced around here from New Zealand, so we can blame the Kiwis for this one. That's good. And we got some quotes. What separates an ordinary woman from an extraordinary one? An ordinary woman from an extraordinary one. The belief that she's ordinary. And the media. That's what I say. Love, why wouldn't you? All this stuff reminds me of stuff that comes out of a fortune cookie. It really does remind me of this trite, psycho-babble, positive affirmation, fortune cookies. You're wonderful, believe in yourself, believe your dreams, follow your dreams. Anyway, we have Aminata, I want to say Amanita because that's the name of a mushroom, but Aminata or Aminata, I prefer Amanita muscaria or Amanita phalioides, but there we go. That's just my preferences with mushrooms. And I love the jumper. Reminds me of Aaron fishing jumpers. Very nice indeed. And then we come to our good friend AH, as I like to call her, the sea witch. She's creeping around the sea caves at the moment, eating limpets and cockles and seaweed, and that's what she's doing right now. But in 2017, she was asked some questions, and she gave some sort of answers, mostly, as I say, straight out of a fortune cookie. A.H. was born in Austin, Texas, in USA. It was a dark day. As I understand, there was a plague of frogs that day, and the rivers, they turned into locusts. I know, it was very strange indeed. And there was thunder and lightning, and it was a very strange day. And as an actor, she is known for her roles in The Danish Girl, terrible, Pineapple Express, even worse, Zombieland, appalling, North Country, just shocking, and All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, really terrible. And of course, London Fields, where she scored the worst ever, 0 grades on Rotten Tomatoes, and was actually sued by the company for being so awful. That's her quality. And if she is in, of course, Aquaman and, God forbid, Aquaman 2. Heard is an activist, yeah, sort of, and a vocal advocate for women's and rights, and has worked to raise awareness of domestic and sexual violence. She is a supporter of the ACLU. Well, that didn't go well, did it? No, it didn't. The Art of Elysium, one of my favourite words. Amnesty International, they've gone crazy, and Children's Hospital Los Angeles, they're great. So they asked some question of this of the Sea Witch, and what did they say? What really matters to you? What really matters to you, AH? Money. That's changed a lot over the years. Money. For a long time, it was all about money. Sorry, protection and survival. It was about finding and defining myself, and then defending whatever that was at the time, no matter what the cost. As I've grown older, though, I have found that it's less about what I am now, but rather it's about what I will leave behind. No one lives forever, and last I checked, you can't bring anything with you when you go, so what matters to me most is the impact I make. During my short time here, I have never been content to be a mere passenger in life, so I want to make sure I'm driving somewhere good. All of this comes across as I say, as the stuff you get in fortune cookies. A little sort of quotes, motivational quotes. No one lives forever. You can't bring anything with you. It's important to make an impact. Don't be a mere passenger. Yabba yabba yabba. Psycho-babble that they all get fed in Hollywood for some reason. They all believe this stuff. They go to their therapist, who just reads out some various motivational posters, and memes that she looked up online, and they're happy. They do some yoga, they for a bit, they go and it's all good. But really, the real truth is, what really matters to her is money and fame. that's, that's what the real situation is, money and fame. That's it. Everything else is just psycho-babble, random motivational waffle. So what else? Another question. What brings you happiness? Money. My relationship with money and understanding of happiness is ever evolving. God, who speaks like this? I used to think happiness was something I had to fight for at all times. Now, more and more, I see what a fleeting, ephemeral thing it is. Happiness is and should always be a goal, but it should never be the end goal. Instead, the focus and fight should be on and for the things happiness is built upon. Money. That's what she wants. She wants money, she wants clout, she wants to sleep with anyone who will help her get that, and she doesn't care who she sleeps with, how many she sleeps with, when she sleeps with them, and what equipment they bring. She couldn't care less. All she wants is money, and that's it. We humans, well, I'm not sure. We human beings, instinctively do anything. Yeah, so far this is true, to avoid pain, and will chase pleasure whenever possible. Possibly the first actual legitimate sentence she's made. I used to chase happiness. If we replace the word happiness with money or fame, I think we're onto something. I used to chase happiness too, and when I caught it, I clung to it and was desperate not to let it go, but holding on to anything makes you unable to grow. Right. Growth is about grasping. So far, so good. At times, clawing your way to the better. Yeah, maybe this paragraph is unintentionally quite on the nose. No one ever got anywhere standing still or even laying down. Maybe. So to me, being static is the ultimate feeling of sadness. This is possibly, if you read between the lines, you're possibly getting somewhere. As I got older, I came to respect the pain and hardships I've endured, just as much as I now respect the joy and happiness that is the reward of having survived these. Oh my good Lord. When I look back on the worst, most difficult periods of my life, when I made a lot of stuff up, I realised that they were the most definitive in making me who I am today. Someone who is content to never be content. Someone who's trite, but never scared of being trite. Someone who talks in cliches, and every word could go into a fortune cookie. These days I find happiness in standing up for what I believe in, standing up for truth, justice, and the American way, and others, and fighting to make this world slightly worse than it was when I arrived. And that's what she's achieved. She has made this world slightly worse than it was. So there's congratulations on that. It lives up to this title, 200 Women Who Will Change the Way You See the World. She has made everyone in the world much more aware that some awful women can be horrendous, and lie through their teeth. And now she's reduced the faith that people have in women. That's what she's done. She's made all of women less trustworthy, less trusted by society. That's what she's achieved. She's harmed women in general. That's what she's done. This woman. They've asked some more questions. What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery? Not getting away with stuff you lie about. I can say that having narrowly survived what I can only hope and imagine are the very depths of my own personal capacity to feel pain. Good Lord, lady. There is some intrinsic worth to the experience, not to the pain itself, but to the surviving of it. You can never win a battle if you've never picked up a sword or being cut by one. I used to do sword fighting. It was quite fun. And the truth is, if you've never experienced pain, loss, failure, or destruction, you haven't either. You can never know what it is to survive, succeed, live, and thrive. She's obviously been given these questions, and she's had a lot of time to write some waffle about them and go to her therapist in Los Angeles, and they've come up with some shenanigans to write down. And you most certainly won't be able to help someone else who's in the throes of that kind of experience themselves. There is a line through at which pain concedes its value. Good Lord, lady. And while that line may fall in a different place for everyone, it is there. I want to join those who use their voices and experiences to help others find and walk that line. I find it difficult to even read this stuff. I do. I find it because I know it's lies on lies, and I can see the Machiavellian machinations that are going on. I can see the traps and the weaseling, And I can see the whole history of this woman. Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately for us all, we fail those who find themselves alone on the front lines of their own personal battles by blindly accepting the value of pain. Blah, 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 blah. We, we all know someone who has been irreparably damaged by the unforgiving fate of persistent pain. The thing that spared me this fate wasn't chance, wealth, a weapon, or some tangible advantage. Rather, it was the grace, kindness, and wisdom of others who had survived and learned the pain themselves. Psycho-babble claptrap from start to finish. Absolute psycho-babble claptrap from Los Angeles therapists who have a hobby of doing therapy for cats on the weekend. What would you change if you could? I have always been particularly allergic to injustice. You've been politically allergic to courts, but to suggest that everything could be fair feels ridiculous. Nonetheless, being a conscious human being who is aware of a mere fraction of the injustices in this world, I must say that I would do away with all the injustices that are engulfing us. It comes across as this sort of pretentious Hollywood, self-indulgent therapy session where she's going to steam her vagina with what's-her-face, the Goop lady, and they're going to go off and meditate and talk about the yonis for hours, and then waffle on about injustices and being conscious human beings and yabbada yabbada, and who cares? But let's crack on while we can still consciously think before she turns my brain into a jelly. Which single word do you most identify with? What would be the real word that AH really identifies with? Is it just straightforward money? Is it vengeance? Is it just rampant hostility? What is it? Is it egregious social climbing? I don't know. What is the real motivational aspect of AH? It's just malevolence. It's just dark malevolence. She should be that woman. Would Angelina Jolie? What was the one with the horns? Maleficent. Is that literally? Yeah. Okay. What single word do I most identify with AH? Maleficence. Look it up. Let me put it this way. If I were a mother yeah, and could pick one quality for my child to have, I would choose that she be brave. There are many qualities I would hope she would possess, but I find that many, like goodness, intelligence, or beauty, are subjective or transient. Yeah, if you think goodness is subjective, then I'm worried already. It's kind of worrying. And yeah, I would hope for bravery most of all, because it's not enough just to be smart, beautiful, or good. So many things are subjective in this world, like truth to you. Her truth, my truth, your truth, their truth, no truth. For instance, as children, we learn the difference between right and wrong. Well, some of us do, yeah. Some of us do indeed. And others forget that completely. But as actually never learned in the first place. But as we get older, the context changes. Yeah, that's yeah. See, justifications coming in. In our ever-changing, nuanced, complicated young lives, good and bad become less clear. Yeah, I bet they do. Less black and white. Yes, we all aspire to do the right thing, but now that I'm older, I find the choice is not always so clear. Yes, Amber, I find that true. We've got one more true sentence out of you. And many of us resign ourselves to settling on what is easiest or most popular. This makes doing what is right unclear and at best, and lonely and terrifying at worst. Yeah, or just don't do it. Don't do the right thing. Just do what you feel like, as you do. No one really tells you what's so difficult about doing the right thing isn't actually doing of it, but rather the doing of it alone. Is it? Is that what the problem is? It takes great bravery, not simply benevolence, to do what's right. And I don't think the concept of bravery is tied enough to the concept of morality. Oh, it's all just psycho-babble gibberish, none of which is tied to her actual behaviour or how she actually functions. So, which makes me worry about this whole book. What are they all like this? And it's just all random psycho-babble waffle that's there to be a pretense and a facade, and the actual reality is grasping social climbing. I couldn't possibly suggest, although I'm making a very, very clear decision in my head right now. It takes great bravery, not simply benevolence. Oh yeah, we read all this claptrap already. To do what's right? And I don't think the concept of bravery is tied enough to the concept of morality. I think Hobbes would have something to say about this, and maybe Sir Thomas Aquinas would have something to say about this as well. All of this to say, I chose the word bravery, I would say maleficence, because it incorporates not only doing what you believe is right, but also having the fortitude and endurance to be able to do so when others can't or won't. None of that is true. None of it. Not a thing is true. And she's wearing some white shift dress, pretending she's like the pure Virgin Mary, and nothing could be further from the truth, including the word virgin. So let me know your thoughts. And 200 women changed the way you see the world. She did indeed. She did indeed. If you are if you are very stupid, you can buy this. You can buy this right now. If you are not very intelligent, then it's available to buy, Kindle edition, £18.84. Hardcover, £28.35. If you are incredibly dumb, you can buy the hardcover version. And if you really want to suffer, you can have the audiobook and have someone read it out to you. Oh, the horror. Oh, the horror. But consider yourself lucky. It was 40 quid. Jesus Christ, on a bike, 40 quid. Who'd pay 40 quid for that? But it turns up tomorrow, if you so wish, which you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. So there you go. Looks awful. Just looks straightforward awful. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously true. Or you can get it for £6.83. There you go. And so if you haven't got any toilet paper, that's available for you. And let me know your thoughts. All right. And God. And I will see you guys later.